channel, John Domenico.
We're ready to educate people.
It's about the good, the bad, and the ugly. No bullshit. The real deal.
We're good. I'm ready. Good. Yeah.
All right, episode 6 of The Real Deal.
Episode 6.
I'm Nick,
I'm Naz. What do
and
we have today, Nick?
today our segment is we're doing a tenant spotlight today, Naz.
Okay.
And our guest today is Jeff Dang from imPerfect Eats.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Thanks
Good,
for coming on, Jeff.
Yeah.
We really
thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, absolutely. We appreciate you being on.
All right.
And just to give, I guess, the listeners and the viewers some context, so Jeff is the founder and creator of imPerfect Eats. You're a quick service restaurant. You've, I guess, started this business approximately 3 years ago, and have just been on expansion mode, growing locations across the GTA. So, Jeff, tell us a little bit of about yourself, number one, and how you started imPerfect Eats.
Okay. Let me go back to So I've been in the business. I've been in the restaurant business for over 10 years now.
Wow.
So I started off with Harvey's. I was a franchisee.
Really?
Yeah, of Harvey's.
I love Harvey's.
Yeah, Harvey's is great. I love Harvey's.
It's delicious.
I still do. I eat it all the time.
Yeah,
right?
it's so good. It's so good.
So I started out with Harvey's. I think I was around 25, 26.
Wow.
Yeah, 25, 26. I got a loan from my family, and then I told them one day, I was like, "Hey, can I, I need a loan. I'm just gonna buy Harvey's." That's how I started, right? So I
Wow.
started with being a franchisee, and then it kind of expanded up to New York Fries and some other businesses.
You picked all the ones I like.
Yeah. So, but you notice that it's all fast food,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
all fast food, so we're very quick service. And then so both my sister and I we live in the downtown core, right? And we're we're young people. We want to eat healthy, but at that time we noticed that all the healthy food options are very expensive. Really, you look at a bowl, it's $18, $20.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, hey, why don't we make something that's healthy, but affordable, something like what Harvey is just affordable, quick, fast, convenient.
Yeah.
And that's how it started until we started sourcing the produce, and then we started realizing why it was so expensive.
Yeah, produce is very expensive.
Very, very expensive. Fresh produce, right? And the reason why Harvey's and stuff like that, because everything is it's processed, right? So it is processed. It comes in the freezer. They're gonna kill me for this, right?
What kind of that?
It's okay. No.
It's not necessarily.
It's not fresh.
Obviously.
So that's why they can maintain the cost, right? But then we were like, okay, so why don't we we really did want to do something that is healthy, that's not processed, that is made to order, that is fresh, but it's also affordable at the same time.
Yeah.
Until we started, until we started sourcing these produce, and we realized it was so expensive. But then I just started digging things. There has to be a way for us to make it cheaper, right? And then I stumbled upon this article that over 33% of the fruits and vegetables are actually are just thrown away. Right, the farmers won't even pick it because it actually costs a lot of money to to pick these fruits and vegetables. So they only pick the perfect. They have a standard, right? That because remember it's very expensive.
They only pick the perfect ones.
Yeah. So they have a standard shape, shape, size. Because if you go to the grocery store, you notice that everything's the same shape, same size.
Same quality.
Same quality, but maybe just because something is smaller or little oddly shaped does not mean it's not
Exactly, but it's true, and they get rid of it.
Yeah, and they don't even pick it. That's weird. Most people think that it just they don't even bother processing it, right? They just kind of leave it there, right? Yeah. And then most of that are that's over 33% of that are just going to waste, especially in North America, right? I stumbled upon that stat. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
It's a third of all our
that's
produce.
A third.
That's a lot,
that's a lot,
that's
right?
A lot.
And that's. And when I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. It's I was in the industry for so long, I didn't even know about this, right? And then I was like, you know what? I was like, what happens if I source these produce, right? And I source these, and then I try to find, and then make something that a restaurant that actually put a focus on this, and then maybe build some awareness and make something great at the same time. People like a story, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's how it started. That's how it started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
So what was it? So I'm just gonna tread backwards. I know it's not on the board, but it's something I just thought of. What was it like to be 25, 26, and go get a Harvey's? And how scary is that for such a young person to really in a business that I'm assuming you knew nothing about,
nothing,
right?
nothing.
How scary is it to invest into something and hope something works? I mean, fast food, I get it. It's like it's a more profitable business, I would assume. But at the end of the day, there's still risk and there's still fear involved, right?
Yo, 100%. Actually, I never even studied business. Like I was actually in biochem.
No,
yeah, I'm not joking. Yeah, most useless degree ever. I swear. Unless you want to be a doctor, there's no reason why you should be in that field. But
Was that the goal for you?
Yeah,
At first,
I
doctor?
listed. Yeah, I wanted to be a doctor, right? But I realized that it's actually very hard to be a doctor,
No
right?
kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But it's like it's okay. It worked out. I'm okay. It worked out fine, right? So, So like I said, but anyway, so sometimes life, it does. You don't get what you want, but then and you kind of just have to make the best of it. And then what I realized that my personality did not fit being a doctor anyways, right? So I'm actually more entrepreneurial, right? I've always wanted to be be an entrepreneur, own my own businesses. And so good thing is that I was like, okay, so at 25, 36, I was like, hey, you know what? I really want to be own a business, but I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. Right? I literally don't know anything, right? I don't even know what a business plan is. I don't even know, that's the extent of that, right?
I get it,
Yeah. So, and then, I just okay, so that's why I know that a franchise would be the best for me at that moment.
Because
at that time
it's plug and play. Is that why?
Yeah,
There's training involved in
lots of training. Yeah, they spend a lot of training. They even help you with the hires.
Okay.
They help you with a lot of things.
Did they help you source location, or was that something?
They source everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so I do recommend if you are someone new and that doesn't have a lot of experience, in business, franchise is the good the good
it's a good route to take.
Was it hands off for you?
I was very hands-on.
Really?
Yeah. So at the beginning, I was very, very hands-on.
Yeah.
And then like I said, after you're doing something for over 10 years, then you become you become very experienced, and then that's how I be able to start a brand new a chain and a
then
brand.
New York Fries or then
And then now we started imPerfect, and we have I think 9 now. And then
Wow.
9 location.
Wow.
And Nicholas just helped us found our 10th location.
Jeez.
Hopefully, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
Are you're just in Ontario then? 9 in Ontario?
Yeah, most of our locations actually downtown.
Nice.
Yeah, in down the GTA, right? But
So you want to take over that core and then move on?
I think we've already taken over the core.
I would assume so. 10 locations.
yeah,
I would say so.
So Jeff, you started imPerfect. I guess your first location opened about 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3
So this
years.
was pre-COVID.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now almost 10 locations 3 years later. So
Correct.
that's
amazing,
that's
dude.
incredible.
That's quick expansion.
So
Yeah.
how was that like? I guess how'd you know you wanted to expand from the first one and sort of with the rapid expansion that you've gone through and continue to go through?
Okay. So, prior to COVID, so it's I think it's over 3 years now. So we were doing really well. We just really at the beginning we were probably when we first opened, it was it was dead winter, and no one knew what we were. And then I literally we made $28,
Oh,
and
wow.
half of that was from my mom. So it was trust me, it was scary, right? It was scary.
Of course.
And then it's you're opening when you're opening something, you don't know a lot of the uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And but because I've have a lot of years of experience, I know that if you provide a quality product, excellent customer service, that eventually people will come. And then you have a good story behind it and all that stuff, and eventually people came, and most of that was word of mouth, and we got then Block TO came, and they did a feature on us, and then the Toronto Star, right, and then a whole bunch of then all of a sudden it really started taking off, right, and then and then after that we were so busy we couldn't even handle it, right, it was a massive influx of people, and then we knew right away we had something, right, we knew right away we had something. And we wanted to say, okay, now let's
Open another location.
let's start to grow. But at that time, I don't know, pre-COVID, I don't know if you guys know, but pre-COVID at that time, the market was very hot. Okay, very hot. It's impossible to get any location, right?
It still
right?
is.
Right?
Still is.
Real estate, right?
Yeah,
for house residential, but then commercial. right? It's like even worse.
I know.
But now
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right?
now there's opportunity.
Now there's tons of opportunity. Like I said, like with every crisis, there's always opportunities.
There's always a silver lining.
There's always silver
We just
lining.
talked about this last week, and we said the same thing. I mean, COVID hurt a lot of people,
Yeah,
financially, business wise,
100%.
but it made a lot of people money.
Oh,
Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It made a lot of people money.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
What was there during COVID? Did was there a substantial, financial hit taken?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, 100%. At the beginning, we did notice like significant, losses in revenue, right? But that's expected. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people were
Yeah.
still kind of like they didn't know what was going on, right? And I think with a lot of fear in the market, and people didn't want to go out, right? But then after a while, like be honest with you, people like eating at home all the time, you get pretty sick of it, right?
Yeah.
And then our deliveries and takeout was starting to take off, right? And the thing with our food is that it was built like for takeout and delivery.
Okay.
It held very well.
Yeah.
Like so that I think that really helped a lot.
So you're ahead of the game for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. We built for that, right?
Yeah.
From the very beginning, right? So
you're in the middle of COVID.
yes,
One location,
Yeah.
2 locations,
one location.
one location. What in the world in your mind said, you know what we need during a pandemic? Another location.
Not one, but
Not one.
almost
9.
9.
No, 100%.
Why?
Why, right? I know exactly
Why
why.
double down?
Yeah, I know exactly why. Okay, because I remember in 2008. Okay, when there was a housing crisis,
Yes.
right? A lot of people were like, especially in the States. Okay, not that much here, but I remember I have a lot of friends that went to the States and they actually bought properties.
Bought property, yeah.
Yeah, they bought like stuff for
Bought
they
it
bought
on the
like for like
cheap.
like 100-something thousand,
Yeah.
200,000, and all these, and then they were picking up like at that time they were telling me I had the money, and then and I was like, no, why would you do that? You know what I mean? It's recession, And then he was like, I remember that time he was like, the best time to invest, right, is during the most fear,
worst market.
worst market. That's the best time to
course.
invest, right? And then like a lot of my friends, they actually they made so much money from like those. That stuck in my head. Okay, like
Yeah.
I was like, next time there's an opportunity to come along,
I'm doing it.
I'm never gonna like turn that down. Like as soon as I see an opportunity, I'm gonna take it, right? And that's exactly what happened. That's why you like, why would you do that? And I was like, yeah, because I see an opportunity. I don't see this is a permanent thing.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, we're coming out of it slowly but
Yeah.
surely. And one of the things we actually talked about, Nick and I, last week, because we had a discussion about COVID, is some businesses in the food industry,
Yeah,
we've kind of noticed they're COVID proof, like they're pandemic proof.
yes,
Right? Like things with a drive-through, things with a strong takeout business, they're pandemic proof.
yes,
Because if they ever tell us to stay home again,
yeah,
those businesses won't close. They can't close.
no,
There's nothing you could do to make it close. There'd have to be like a botulism outbreak in all of Canada,
And I think being built from day one and
Yeah.
what you created, with that takeout concept has really helped you for sure during COVID. I mean, you see a lot of these restaurants, especially full service,
Oh
in,
yeah,
in
they're
large
hurting. Yeah,
and large
Yeah.
square footage,
Yeah,
who
They're
rely
taking a
sort
beating.
of on
Yeah.
the
Like the steakhouse.
sit down service. Yeah.
Sit down service take
Yeah, for sure. Like I have a lot of friends that owns Swiss Chalet too, because we're the same
Oh, yeah,
group,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
for
Yeah,
like
Harvey,
Harvey,
Swiss
Swiss Chalet,
Chalet,
all
yeah.
that stuff, and they're really hurting. Yeah,
Really,
all
even
the-
though they're takeout. Drive-through.
Swiss Chalet,
Swiss Chalet's drive-through.
But their footprint
but
is
they're
big.
But
they
their
have like
footprint's
5,000 square
huge,
feet.
yeah.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah, that's tough, man.
yeah, it's pretty. So it's pretty tough. Like the restaurant, I mean the businesses with the like large footprint. That's why we don't go too big anymore. Like that's why I was telling Nicholas, okay, you find me something like maybe around like 1,200 square feet. That's the reason why, right?
Especially in the downtown core, there really isn't,
Yeah,
10,000 square foot food retail spaces just
No.
sitting around. You know what I
No.
mean? They're a dime a dozen, or they're on 2 floors if they're 10,000
Yeah,
square feet.
yeah.
Or they're,
Yeah.
So I think you being in the downtown core was a great move, because I think if you would have came up here, you'd be looking at huge space.
Yeah.
You'd be looking at 4,000, 5,000
yeah,
square
yeah,
feet.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And as you start off in the downtown core, and I know you probably get this all the time with all, I guess, the competition out there in terms of, I know your product is different. You use fresh produce.
Fresh, imperfect produce.
Yeah, imperfect, I guess, blemished produce that you utilize, and that's part of your brand and how you market yourself, which is fantastic.
I like it. I think it's a great idea.
Do you are you scared of all the other competition in the market right now?
No, I think competition is a good thing.
Yeah.
I actually really do. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, usually, remember when we all have a conversation? Oh, there's this, there's a freshie here. I'm like, I don't care. Like,
We're gonna destroy this.
We're gonna
fresh
destroy them. Like,
They're going down.
shots fired.
On fire. But
shots fired.
but that's the thing. It's like, why if you cannot, like, I think here's how I say, if you just have to focus on yourself. I think a lot of people they tend to focus too much on competition and on other people instead of just focusing on themselves and their product and their quality and customer service. If you could just, like I said, I've been in this business for a long time, and like if you really focus on that, and if you could tell by all of our like reviews, if you go actually look to all the stores, right, they all like at least 4.8, some are 4.9, and we have like hundreds and hundreds of reviews, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's so now we're moving to the part where like it's easy, very easy to open up one store.
Yeah.
It's when you scale it, right? And then that's the maintaining that quality. That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
That is
and
the-
that's
that is the
probably
hard
where
part.
a lot of these
That's what they failed.
fast food companies fail.
Yeah.
And that's I understand. Like, I think a lot of people don't understand. Well, why can't X and Y or McDonald's or Wendy's be healthy? And it's because you're making food for billions of people a day.
Yeah.
You can't control
Quality.
quality on a billion scale.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's most people can't control quality on a one scale.
That is very
You know
hard.
what I mean?
So it makes sense, right? It makes sense that why that everything that they use, it has to be like processed. It's
Yeah.
because that's
It's all cookie cutter.
gotta last forever.
Yeah, because that's a way to control the quality, right? And the consistency. Like, you
Yep.
go to McDonald's in Russia right now, and they're selling it for like
They
$50.
They don't
like,
exist anymore.
Yeah, I know they don't exist. they have. I think
Their
like,
own brand.
Yeah, they have their own brand,
Yeah.
but they still use a McDonald's.
But actually, in Russia now, what they're doing is they're using only Russian produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cheaper for the consumer there.
Also, and another thing too, like that I don't think a lot of people notice right now. I think that the next moving forward in this year, I think it's going to be inflation.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
huge.
inflation
for
is
sure, dude.
huge.
There it is.
It's on an upward trend right now. For
There it
sure.
is. Do you see, like, you're in obviously the food industry, but do you see society as a whole, at least our society, moving away from the fast food? Do you think they're going to take a beating in the future, or you always think there's going to be a space for it?
There's always going to be a space for it.
I love McDonald's. dude.
I still love McDonald's.
McDonald's
Occasionally.
like crack.
Yeah, it is.
It's so
It's
good.
very nostalgic. You know what I mean? It's like it's something because you've eaten it when you were like a child or something. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like something in the back of your head. Like, I don't know.
It's so good.
That's why I'm not no complaints, right? But I'm saying like there will always be a market for everything, like healthy food,
Yeah,
fast food.
but there was a point where I feel like the healthy food market was quiet, right?
Yeah.
Like it maybe it was because it was expensive, like you said. There was no alternatives to it being just
Very
overly
expensive.
expensive. Or if you wanted healthy, you had to go to a sit down restaurant and eat something
Yeah.
truly healthy. And
Yeah.
it's growing now where I think people realize, I want something healthy. I want a wrap. I want something that's going to be good for me, but I don't have the time to go sit down. I need
Yeah.
something that I can walk in and walk out. A bowl, whatever it is.
And also inexpensive, right? I think,
And
I think
inexpensive.
that's the
That's a big
fear
thing.
that sort of steer away these consumers
Yeah.
from eating healthy is the price point, right?
100%.
Especially when you could get a burger for $4.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't
It's
know.
crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's crazy.
how
I don't know how they
for
do it.
$4, man.
Sometimes at Harvey's we have like 2 for $6. I was like,
Yeah.
how do we make money? Like, what the hell?
Like
But it's like-
I was watching a Burger King commercial, I don't know, months ago, and they were like, "Oh yeah, 20 nuggets for like $1.99." And I was like, "What are your nuggets made
what
out
is it
of?"
made of? It's like
That's
Or
not
they go
chicken.
I
they
can't
go by
even do-
volume, right? I guess.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. That's I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Their
Yeah.
business model,
no,
like,
there's always gonna be a market for fast food.
dude,
like,
McDonald's figured it out.
no,
Their
that's-
business model is like
no, it's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
crazy. They're
That's-
landlords.
Well, they are. McDonald's
yeah.
almost owns more than half, I think, the real estate.
I think it's what's good about it is because they build a brand. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think I was telling Nicholas too, like that it's very important to have a brand.
Yeah.
Because like a piece of property is pretty much useless, right? Unless you have unless it generates cash flow.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
a piece of property is only going to return you about 5% if you just leave it.
Yeah. So if they could turn just any piece of property into something that generates millions and millions of dollars, right? All of a sudden, that thing has a massive value, right?
A month, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Millions of dollars a month.
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
You know, and they got it. Have you ever watched The Founder?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah.
yeah. Great
Was
movie.
good.
Ray Kroc. Ray
Yeah.
Kroc.
It's a cool story how McDonald's got started.
What a piece of shit he was, eh? Like, what an asshole.
Hey, that's business, right?
No friends in business.
This is
eh?
business, right? It is what
No,
it is.
It is. And,
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to him for seeing something
Yeah.
that he knew was gonna work, right?
Yeah, so when I was watching it, right, it kind of like I resonate a lot with it too, because I see a lot of the problems that he's like facing, because like the inconsistency in products
Yeah.
and all that thing. It's like and then now I'm starting to witness it. I'm starting to see
Yeah.
the bigger we get,
The
like,
more inconsistent,
harder
yeah.
the harder it is to maintain
course.
consistency.
Yeah,
Like, it is very hard. I think scaling it's actually way harder than
people
actual
think?
the initial
hell
start.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
Because you have control over one, like we said, right? But
Yeah.
when you get into 10 even,
Yeah.
it's very hard for you to go to every location and make sure that things are done right. Who's got the time for that?
No.
You
no.
know?
So are a lot of your locations franchise driven, Jeff?
I would say half of them right now.
Oh, okay.
Like more than half. Like
Nice.
we only have three locations as corporate, right? The rest is franchise.
Oh, nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Is that all you want for yourself? Just a few that are corporate.
Oh,
the
we
rest
need
franchise
some
out?
corporate store for training.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna need some.
Is that what you do? So you train at the corporate and send them out to the franchises
Yeah.
after?
Yeah. Now like I'm more focused on building a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Building a team. Building our head office. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where we're at the stage in our development. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that team? I think that's because there's only one me. There's a lot of things to do, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I think it's awesome, eh? Like the tenant spotlights, it shows viewers or listeners that there's more than one way to make money.
Oh, 100%.
Like there's more than one way to be successful. You don't have to just go to school and be a doctor, or you don't have to sell real estate, or you don't have to invest in real estate. Like there's so many. Your story is one that I have never heard before. I've never heard anybody go. I started off by owning a Harvey's. What? Most people are like, yeah, I bought a income
25
property
years
at
old.
25. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
my path of success is purchasing a home, right? That's I'm average. That's most people, I think. Most people buy a home and then leverage and then buy another home, and and this is another part of the conversation we had last week.
Yeah.
I have a little brother, and I was told him, listen, you don't have to buy a house.
Yeah.
You could buy a commercial unit and lease it out. You can run a franchise now. That's another thing I'm going to tell him, right? So like it's interesting to see where other people's journeys came from, and it shows people there's not one way to be successful.
Oh, and
right?
No, sorry to cut you off, but
No.
Actually, now it's even more easy to make money, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the advent of internet. You
Yeah.
have like TikTokers, and you have like Instagrammers. These guys are making a lot of YouTubers. Oh my
YouTubers,
god!
yeah,
Crazy,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh man!
Crazy.
Like so I asked my son. I was like, oh, so Derek, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Do you want to be like an entrepreneur like your dad?
I
I
want
want
to
to
be
be
a
a
Twitch
YouTuber.
streamer.
It's YouTuber or gamer now.
Yeah,
that's,
YouTuber,
that's what I find
yeah,
out.
But how can you blame them? A
it's
16-year-old last year made like $3 million playing a video game. Mr. Beast, he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
YouTuber. Dude's gonna be a billionaire.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What are we like? How?
Yeah.
How do people enjoy watching his crap that much?
But the
Blows my mind.
No, Mr. Beast is actually very, very smart, because
Yeah. Very smart.
he's using his platform, but he's branching out to other
businesses, yeah.
Like, I don't know if you heard of Mr. Beast's burger.
A lot of these guys are doing that. A lot of
but-
these
They're
YouTubers.
So-
opening their own restaurants. Or
But
Same
then,
as
but
a
they're
restaurant.
not though. Here's the thing. It's like I've have my my buddy works for this company called Reef, right?
Okay.
Reef. So what they do is that they have like they only base of they are like a delivery like port. Like, so what they do is
Okay.
that they own a lot of real estate in Toronto. Okay,
Yeah.
and like in Toronto, all across the North America, like all those parking spaces,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
park, that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
those guys. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So they has like all this empty space. Why don't we put like a trailer in there and then just have have a bunch of restaurants inside the trailer and then only for deliveries only, right? So
like
and
a
they-
ghost kitchen.
like a ghost kitchen, exactly. So they have probably thousands of these all across North America, like in their empty lots that
Yeah.
they own. And so they take on very influential I guess like Mr. Beast
Like a Mr.
burger,
Beast, yeah,
or like what's the guy that said what's the rapper?
KSI.
No, the other guy, from and another one. What is it?
Oh,
DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled. Yeah,
He
DJ
has
Khaled.
Another one.
and another one. So that's actually a thing. It's like so they have like these like virtual kitchen like all across, and so like for example like Mr. Beast. He was one of the fastest growing, like a restaurant because he has one of the fastest growing units. He has because he has like thousands of units already, because by putting into
Crazy.
within the span of 1 year.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's changing, right? That's a lot of things are changing, and I don't think that people really understand yet.
Well, there's a lot of things going towards the e-commerce side of things.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, even food. Like I can Uber or Skip the Dishes or DoorDash or whatever other one there is, because there's 45 of them now.
Yeah.
It's everything is becoming.
There's a lot in the
e-commerce
downtown
based.
core for sure. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
a lot of delivery partners, which is good. I mean,
Better for you.
Yeah.
do you use them all downtown?
We do.
Yeah.
We have to. Yeah, we do. That's they're a big part of our business, but they take way too much
The percentage.
fees, right?
Yeah.
So we do try to get people to order directly from us, like from our website or
Okay.
like from we're building our app right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And all of your, just so you know, all of your stuff is going to be in the description. Like we'll put your website, we'll put
okay.
like all that stuff.
Okay.
So if anybody watching wants to order,
Oh.
go directly to them. Don't order from Uber.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I guess before we end the segment here, in terms of your future with
Yes.
imPerfect and growth plans, where do you see, I guess, imPerfect being in the next 5-10 years?
Oh, okay. So for me, I really believe that we could actually go national.
Yeah.
I really do. Like I think we have a product and we have a brand that I think that a lot of people resonate with, and I'm just basing it on the feedback that I get from my customers. But I know that if we could open up anywhere, I know that we would do well. I see myself actually going to the States, and then there's not a lot of Canadian like restaurant that actually take on the American market, right? But I really feel like we can. Right, so because we're very unique, right? We're very different, right? And if you actually try the food, you will actually like, what is this? Like I never experienced this before, right? So I believe that we have a good product. I have no doubt that we're gonna probably be national.
Yeah.
And I mean, what you do and where you source your produce from, every country does that.
Oh, 100%.
Every country doesn't pick the imperfect food,
especially North America.
especially
Yeah.
North
North
America.
America.
But I think that's your differentiating factor
Yeah.
and part of your brand, right? I mean, not only are you providing fresh produce, you're utilizing, I guess,
Otherwise, what would be discarded?
Yeah.
and wasteful products that are
Yeah.
still 100% good.
Yes.
They might be, slight blemished here or there,
What's wrong with that?
But-
What's wrong with our
but
countries?
you
Yeah, I mean,
utilizing that to create for the consumers a very reasonable priced, healthy food option is incredible, because I don't think we have really anything out
No,
there
we
right
don't.
now
We don't.
that sort of offers what you offer.
we don't. Yeah.
I think that's the appeal, right? That's the appeal
Yeah.
of
For
our
sure.
like our brand, right? Is that we and ultimately, like no matter whatever you do, I think ultimately it has to taste good, right? And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that the like most people they would say that I go to imPerfect because it tastes good, not just because
Of the story.
this or
Yeah,
that
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? If you do all that stuff. You can be Mother Teresa, but your food is
It
crap.
tastes like
trust me.
crap. It's
Yeah,
not
no
gonna
one's
be
gonna
good.
give a shit.
It's not going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how gluttonous are we as a society that if we see a food on the shelf that doesn't look pretty, we won't eat it?
But it's-
Like, what's wrong?
I think most people don't know. I think because they're subconsciously you always want the best. Like
Yeah.
when you look at something, you're like, if I give you a choice, I'm paying the same amount. What am I gonna pick?
Yeah,
So,
it's
right?
just crazy to me.
Right. So, but that's I don't blame people, but I think a lot of people are unaware of that
I think
because
so
these
too.
are little things like that. I think a lot of people are unaware, and
Yeah,
that's
I think so
why
too.
that's I honestly believe that people not doing it intentionally. People really know. I don't think that will be a problem.
Well, let's hope it stays this way.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of that's where you're squeezing that out of, right?
Yeah,
So I hope nobody ever doesn't. I hope nobody ever wants the imperfect food on their shelves.
Hey, why not? Like, I actually don't mind. Like, I actually don't mind. If we could be the one to actually, like, kind of build
Kickstarts it?
awareness.
Yeah.
Hey, I have no problem. I don't care.
As long as you get brand awareness. who
Yeah,
cares?
I think that's in the long run, it will be way better for our brand.
Yeah,
right?
that's amazing.
And we'll be the people are like, oh yeah, those are the guys that kickstart this, right? And then that would be actually like.
So the plan is global domination.
Hey, it is what it is. Business, right?
Take over the world.
That's amazing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, Jeff,
We've already been talking for 30 minutes.
yeah,
See, that was fast. We
it's-
probably
that's
go on for
awesome.
like 2 hours. I thought
Quick
That's
and
awesome.
quick. Yeah. Yeah. But we appreciate you being on.
Yeah,
We appreciate
thank
you
you.
telling
Thanks for
our
having
story.
me, yeah.
No problem.
We love for our tenant spotlights featuring tenants like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Ground
Just
up
before we
businesses.
end, though, I know Jeff, successful entrepreneur since age of 26. Any advice to guess
Yeah.
these young
good one.
entrepreneurs, wanting to get in the business world?
Yes, actually, yeah, for sure. I think if you're young, I think you should definitely try to get, especially when you don't know what you're doing, right? There's always good to learn, trying to like find a mentor, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very important, right? To find a mentor, to even work for free. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but like, trust me, because you actually, I think when you're at an early age, it's actually better to accumulate like knowledge and the skill set that is going to require for you to become successful down the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I've like at a young age I've worked at a lot of places. I have a lot of mentors, right? That's the reason why I was able to just go right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna do this, right? Because it gave me the confidence to know that I can do it, right? Yeah.
So, and then the final thing from me is we're going to give you this time to talk about your business, to plug whatever you want. Like if you got some specials going on, you got a deal, or if there's a certain place you want them to go, or whatever it may be, or
Any maybe updates?
or if there's like a discount code that we can put for them or anything, you fire it off.
No, I actually don't have anything right now. Like,
Yeah.
no discount code, but just come check us out. We're
Yeah.
at imperfectfreshie.com. Yeah, definitely try it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And leave us a
Awesome.
review.
Yeah, leave a good one. A good one. Don't leave a bad one. Yeah, and until next Friday. Thanks
Yeah.
for being on.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Real deal?
All right.
Real
let's
deal.
go.